so many bright, fresh-looking faces. I know you all had a good night's sleep last night. And I'd like you to welcome you to the parent graduation ceremony for Hartford Parent University. My name is Cynthia Jennings. I'm a councilwoman, and I'm also on the board of directors at Hartford Parent University.
Hi,
My name's JC McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Now you're being welcomed to the 5th Hartford Parent University Parent Leader Graduation. And you need to understand how important it is that we train parents to be leaders. Parents are absolutely the most important part of our school system. Not only do you produce the product that we are expected to do wonderful things with, but you are the people that need to run the school system, not the Board of Education, not the Hartford City Council. The parents need to run the school system on behalf of their children. So it's important that you recognize that you also understand the roles and responsibilities of being a parent, as well as being a board member, as well as being a teacher. We have to understand what everybody's job is so that we can all stay in our lane, but understand that you own the street. So it's important that you recognize that and that you act on behalf of your children. You only have one chance to get it right. Your children are far more important than anything else that you have going on, and they are far more important than any other agendas that anyone else may have. So you make sure that I thank Millie Arsenagas and Carmen, because they have been just working with this to pull this together for many years. I met Millie through Carmen. And Carmen, when I met Carmen, she was assistant to Barbara Kennelly, who was a congresswoman at the time. And she has a lot of goals and objectives. And I can always remember her favorite and most often used term, and that was, "Get to work, Millie." And so that's what I'm going to leave the charge to you parents. Get to work. Okay, because you have a job to do, and there is no one else that you can bring in to do your job for you, and you can blame no one else except yourself if you fail to participate meaningfully in your child's education. And understand your children understand that that's your role as well. But make sure they understand that your job is to make sure that they get a good education. Their job is to do the groundwork that needs to get there. Their job is to do their homework. Their job is to do their schoolwork. But your job is to make sure that the system works for your child. And if it's not working for your child, to make sure that you change it so that it does. Now, those are my words of wisdom for the parents. I would like to thank the funders and supporters. And these funders and supporters are all very important, and parents need to put in your mind who the funders and supporters are. But they don't run it, you do. But you do owe people who give their time and their effort a deep appreciation for being involved in the lives of your children. The funders and supporters are Mayor Luke Bronin, Hartford Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Leslie Torres Rodriguez, Nellie Mae Education Foundation, William Casper Graustein Memorial Fund, Arcadis O&G C&R Program Management, Travelers, the Fund for Greater Hartford, J. Walton Bissell Foundation, Ensworth Charitable Foundation, Charles N. Robinson Fund, Knox Foundation, Mabel F. Hoffman Charitable, George and Grace Long Foundation, Specialty Transportation, and the HPU board members, Lauren Flecker. I was teasing her about messing up her name. Lauren Fletcher, okay, and she's our president. Please raise your hands and stand. Okay, give her a hand. Carmen Sierra. Carmen, where are you? Okay, please stand. These are your board members. Diane Jones, please stand. Okay. Leah Henderson. Okay, she's working, and like the rest of us aren't. And Carolyn Hickman. Okay, out of town. And please give us a big hand for the parents and the student volunteers. Please stand up, parent and student volunteers. Thank you so much for volunteering your time. Okay, and I just wanted to talk about the importance of parent engagement. I gave you your charge, but parent engagement, which means getting involved with everything that's going on with the school system and anything that affects the school system, which includes the state legislature, anything, the city council, anything that affects the money that goes into the school system. If parents get involved, if you all come out in your blue shirts and you show up at a council meeting, trust me, you will get anything you ask for, okay? Because people recognize the power of parents, and there's power in mass engagement. So if there are large numbers of you that show up, if you show up at the legislature in your blue shirts and make sure that they understand we pay taxes and we want X, Y, and Z for our children, you will not cut our educational fund. And then you can always remind people that if there's a problem every 2 years, for me every 4 years, because I'm on city council, there are new elections. And it's not a threat. You have to run for office. So sometimes if things aren't going your way, you may have to sign up and run for office, even if you do it on the parent ticket, okay? So don't just sit there and take whatever you get given to you if it's not in the best interest of your children. Become engaged, become involved. That is the only way that we get to where we need to be. And it's very important that we do that. So if anyone doesn't believe parent engagement is important, believe me, I was a parent. And you can believe that I have spent many years working with, I'm a teacher now, because as a parent, things weren't going my way for my son, okay? So what did I do? I went to college and became a teacher. And what did I do after that? I got a few teachers fired because they were mistreating my child. And it's not about getting teachers fired. It's about if they are doing something harmful to your child, like their child has been labeled or targeted and you want it stopped, it's your job to sit down and talk to school and the administration. And it's also their job to become somewhat flexible in how they deal with your child. And so there's always, as Mayor Carrie Saxon Perry, who I was trained under since I was 17, in politics, there is always tomorrow. For a parent, it is today is tomorrow, okay? And we have to do a special thanks to Millie for staying the course, whether she had funding or not, staying there with us for the years that she did it. And believe me, this is a real, I was there from the very beginning, and I can tell you, there were days when we had nothing. We had no funding. We didn't have t-shirts. We had no program. But now, thanks to Millie, thanks to the board of directors, we have come so far, and this is what we need to do. We need to continue to engage. We need to continue to get involved. We need to continue to run for office if it's running for the Board of Education. We need to continue our engagement and our involvement way beyond when our children are grown. My children have been gone. Okay, but I am still engaged because it is a lifetime commitment for all of us. We aren't just parents when our children are in the house and then we're done. No, it's our job to advocate on behalf of the next generation and the generations after that. So I look forward to seeing all of you engaged. If City Council has something on the agenda that you think is going to affect your child, I urge you to organize, bring yourself down to City Council to the public hearings and speak out. And work with Millie in doing that so that we have an organized, engaged effort. All right, thank you so much to all the parents. Now I'd like to call up Ronald Martin. Is it Reverend Ronald Martin?
Not Reverend.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'm not calling you up, I'm asking you up. God called you up and to do the invocation for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I came to Hartford a couple of years ago, having raised my kids, and I was looking around, hitting these later retirement years, looking around for a way to be involved in what was happening in the community. Went on the internet, and I was surprised to see Hartford Parent University. I was wondering, what is Hartford Parent University? So I signed up, and I came, and I learned about the struggles that parents are facing. I learned from my fellow parents that parenting is one of the hardest jobs that we have, one of the most difficult jobs that we have. I learned about the school system and the struggles and the challenges that we have been having with our kids. And I realized that the family is the foundation of our society. And like my friend Richard always said, parents are the first teachers. Sometimes I think probably parents are the only teachers. The way things are today, it's a dog-eat-dog world. We're in a rat race. But I'd like to encourage you this morning to remember that we need to teach our kids the fundamental idea of loving one another and being kind. We live in a world that it's brutal. In the political arena, we have to fight, we have to be strong, but let us not forget that we also need to be caring, we need to be compassionate, and we need to be kind. I'd just like to quote a portion from my religious tradition, where there was a man leading some people. They were going into a new situation. We're going into a new world. Education is changing. Technology is transforming the way that we learn. But the challenge that comes from this word is, let us be strong, let us be courageous, let us not be afraid, for God is with us. Amen? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin. Now I'd like to call Millie Arsenegas up for the dedication.
Wow, you guys all look so lovely. I want to read this dedication of Luz Rosado Castro. She was one of our HPU leaders that recently passed away, and her family is in the back. Somaira Telet is her daughter. But we want to dedicate this graduation to remember Luz. Luz will always be remembered as a loving mother, grandmother, and friend. She always seen the good in everyone and motivated them to do the same. Her laughter was contagious, and her courage to advocate for children and grandchildren encouraged others to do the same. As an HPU parent leader, Luz stood up and advocated for equality education for not only her grandchildren, but also for all children. She exemplified the true meaning of a leader. A mother, a grandma, a friend too. A mother, a grandma, a friend too. This is the legacy we have from you, Luz. You taught us love and how to fight. You gave us strength. You gave us might. A stronger person would be hard to find, and in your heart, you were always kind. You fought for us all in one way or another, not just as a mother, not just as a grandmother. For all of us, you gave your best. Now the time has come for you to rest. So go in peace. You've earned your sleep. Your love in our hearts will eternally keep. So I want to thank Luz Rosado Castro for all of her advocacy. And so Maida, if you can come up here, I'm going to present you.
Thank you, Millie, and many thanks to Luce's family and for all the many hours that she spent with us working and making sure that our children all had a better opportunity. And now I'd like to call Lauren Fletcher Rosado, the Hartford Parent University Board President, up for her presentation.
Thank you, Councilwoman, for getting my last name correct. Good morning to all, and welcome again to the parent ceremony graduation. Again, my name is Lauren Fletcher Rosado. I am recently appointed the president of Hartford Parent University. I love what this organization stands for and the empowerment it gives to the parents in this community, because I myself, I know, regardless of the title, I am a young Latina. I was raised in Hartford. I was born in Puerto Rico, but I came here at a young age. And I actually graduated from Buckley High School 6 years ago. And you know, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh my God, I'm excited for this graduation. Even though it's a gloomy Monday, I was excited to see you all, because I know what it feels like to be graduating, to be sitting here and reminiscing and thinking over everything you had to overcome, any thoughts, any self-doubts you had through your progress, your journey to get to this point. I recently experienced a similar feeling for my own graduation. When I graduated high school at 18, a few months after, I became pregnant with a little girl. My daughter Jade will soon be 5 this year. And I had many self-doubts, but it mainly came from other people. Oh, you can't do it. You don't have a future. You're so young, you're 18, just like many other classmates of mine. And I'm like, wow, I don't have a future because I have a little girl. I didn't know everyone carried a crystal ball. I didn't know if it was right then and there, my life was over. But no, that's not true. I continued school. I struggled. I failed a few classes, I'll be honest. I had to retake it. I got into the school debt like everyone else, to be honest. But it was a journey that I couldn't stop. And 6 years later, 3 weeks ago actually, I graduated Central Connecticut State University with my bachelor's. Yeah. Yep, I'm a single mother of a 5-year-old, bachelor's degree in finance, and I see your children here today. I know it's exciting. They're really excited for you. And my daughter unfortunately slept through my entire graduation. But the key thing to know is your kids are always observing, and they are proud of you. They're your '1 fan. They're your supporter. And when you need to be reminded of where you want to go and how far you want to make it, they do guide that way. And about 2 weeks prior to my graduation, I was in my night class. It gets out at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm exhausted, but I got a text message from my mom. My daughter actually put on my cap and gown and told everyone that she graduated. And you are their example. So when my daughter starts school and starts thinking about going to college, if she ever feels any self-doubt or hesitant or thinks she can't finish an assignment or pass or reach her next goal, I'm gonna show her that picture of when she's 4.5 years old, talking about she graduated college, just to remind her that if a 5-year-old, almost 5-year-old, can envision herself accomplishing a goal that a lot of us set to do, then those self-doubts didn't come from her, they came from her surroundings. And she needs to be stronger than that and keep a strong mindset to keep pushing forward. So I encourage you all to continue pushing forward, because it doesn't matter your age or your time or how long it takes, because for me it was 6 years, for others longer, for others shorter. The point is you push yourself and you guide yourself at your own pace to reach your own goals and accomplish a graduation like you all have done today. Along with you guys, the organization itself have made a few accomplishments this past year. Hartford Parent University actually had 45 training sessions that were delivered by parents, by parent facilitators, Hartford Public School teachers, and district staff, with also community-based organizations. In these training sessions, we had a total of 173 students attend. Well, parents attend, I apologize. In total, overall, 200 parents. 200 parents were connected to homes, schools, and community resources by the parent coaches themselves. And that's important, because we should always remain united and help one another. When someone's in need or needs assistance of any kind, if you know a place that can help, just carry the word. Don't keep all the information. The best thing about having knowledge is spreading it for everyone to share. So I think this is very impressive. The fathers present today, I know we're predominantly women, but the fathers actually had a more active, or been more active this year than any other year in our program, thanks to the Hartford Parent University Fathers Group. So I'm very glad to hear the fathers are being involved more. But today present, not all, but we had a total of 57 graduates. And of those parents, 8 of them completed the facilitator requirements and 50 completed the parent leader requirements. Congratulations. So overall, we're very proud of how far you all, every single one of you guys have come. We're proud of you, most of all because of your commitment, and your children, they're beautiful by the way, are in a better place today than they were yesterday. They will continue to follow your steps. They will continue to view you as their #1 leader. You are their #1 teacher. It's okay. I needed the background music, it's fine. But in conclusion, no, I wanted to thank you all for being here today, and I wish you and your children the greatest success, okay?
I have to say that Lauren, she just became president of Hartford Parent University. She just completed her first board meeting, with the gavel and giving, and then seconding and getting, doing the motions. So she's really, really going to be our next city council person. Okay, William, where's Joshua here? Okay. I'm sorry, we had a slight change here. Okay, so we're going to cover Where Are They Now? And we're going to cover it with Joshua Rosario and Jane Russell, who's the mother of Joshua Rosario. And is Kent Ashworth here? Okay, Kent will introduce Joshua short momentarily.
Thank you.
Testing.
Suave. Buenos días a todos los presentes.
Good morning to all the graduates.
Gracias por venir a la graduación
Thank you for coming to the graduation
de la Universidad de los Padres.
of the Hartford Parent University.
Me llamo Jane Russell.
My name is Jane Russell.
Soy residente de Hartford.
I'm a resident of Hartford.
Tengo 3 hijos
I have 3 boys
que asistieron a las escuelas públicas de Hartford.
that attended Hartford Public Schools.
Gracias a Dios, los 3 se graduaron de la Escuela Superior Buckley.
Thank God that all 3 of them graduated from Buckley High School. Yay.
Y continuaron su estudio postsecundario.
And they continue to go on to college.
Desde que mis hijos estaban en la escuela elemental Burns,
Since my kids were at Burns School, so elementary school,
quise ser parte de la organización de los padres,
she
maestros.
she wanted to be a part of the PTO.
Luché hasta lograrlo.
She fought to be elected one day
Porque siempre era el mismo grupito.
because it was always the same little clique, same little
Y-
group,
Y no le daban la oportunidad a otros padres.
and they never gave an opportunity to the other parents.
Pero un día alguien me dijo, ve a la escuela Kennedy,
But one day, somebody told her, I don't know where this is going, somebody told her, go to Kennelly School.
ahí vas a conocer a la presidenta de todos los PTOs de Hartford.
There you're going to meet the president of all of the PTOs in Hartford.
Y fue así como conocí a Emilia Ciénaga.
And that is when she met me.
Me acerqué a ella y le comenté lo que estaba pasando con el PTO de Burns.
I got close to her and I got an opportunity to talk about what was happening at Burns.
Por supuesto, ella ya sabía lo que estaba pasando.
She already knew what was going on when she approached her.
Y me dijo, corre para el PTO.
So I said to her, run for the PTO.
Y desde entonces estuve envuelta hasta que se graduaron mis hijos.
And since then, I've been involved on the PTO until my kids graduated.
Esa experiencia me ayudó a ser parte de la organización Universidad de los Padres.
That experience helped me to begin being involved in the Hartford Parent University,
A ser parte de los fundadores y primeros facilitadores.
to be a part of the first facilitators.
En los tiempos que mis hijos estaban pequeños, no existía una organización como esta.
In the time when her children were growing up, there was never an organization like this one.
Esta que nos enseñaba nuestros derechos como padres,
This organization that teaches us our parent rights,
abogar mejor por nuestros hijos,
to advocate better for our children,
ayudar a otros padres a continuar su envolvimiento en la educación de sus hijos,
and to help other parents with help other parents being involved in their child's school.
a no darse por vencidos,
Hmm?
a no darse por vencidos.
Yes.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. I won't give up. I'm still here.
Ustedes son los primeros maestros de sus hijos.
You are your children's first teacher.
No importa los obstáculos que ustedes encuentren en el camino,
It doesn't matter all the obstacles that you experience along the way.
no dejen de luchar por una mejor educación.
Don't ever stop fighting for a better education for your child.
Y el futuro exitoso de sus hijos.
And the success of your children.
También los exhorto a que apoyen sus escuelas a través del PTO y comité de gobierno,
She also wants you to continue to push forward, be involved in PTO and school governance councils at your schools.
sean parte del cambio que ustedes quieren ver en sus escuelas.
Be a part of the change in your child's school.
Y los felicito a todos
She wants to congratulate everyone
por el paso que han hecho,
on the path that you've taken to come this far
por aprender cada día
and to learn every day.
y espero pues que ayuden a otros padres también
And she waits that you also, from this day forward, to help other parents along the way.
para que cojan adiestramientos a través de la Universidad de los Padres.
Yes.
Training.
Letting them know, spreading the word about the training at Hartford Parent University.
Que tengan muy buen día, los felicito a todos.
And have a great day, and she congratulates everyone. Thank you.
¿Sí va a traducir? No, grande. Gracias.
We now have Kent Ashworth. He is the mentor of Joshua Rosario, Jane's son, that is right now going to Central Connecticut State University. Yeah.
Good morning. As Josh's mentor, I wanted to say a few words about mentorship before we get started. One thing I would like to say, whether it's Carlene and Aliana, 2 years old, or whether it's me and Josh, that parents have a great responsibility, and you know it, to be a role model. And I think we have to think carefully about that. all parents, especially single parents, and all siblings, especially that those who care deeply about their siblings, make sacrifices. We all make sacrifices for our families. All of us give something to be helpful. But it should not be at the cost of sacrificing your own individual crucial potential. In other words, each of us has to be a role model, like for Aliana. Each of us has to be a role model for those who are coming along next. So the more you can show your family how success can be built, in my opinion, the more it will be built. So Josh and I have made a deal. It's a different sort of art of the deal that you find in national politics right now. Our deal is that I will continue to offer my best ideas, and Josh will reject the ones that he ought to reject. In turn, Josh is going to pay it forward. He is going to, in his own right, be a mentor to other promising students in the years ahead. He'll probably start on that when he gets to be about half my age. So my thought is, whether you're a parent, a teacher, a mentor, an advocate, like Millie, my encouragement is don't back down. In fact, I'm kind of saying in English what Jane was saying. Don't back down. Fight for what you believe in. Others will follow. And now, Joshua Rosario will help us better understand what parent engagement means. Your turn.
Hello everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Josh Rosario, and I am a graduate of Buckley High School. My high school years were some of the best I've had so far. I had teachers who cared, and I was able to have a great education while I was in Buckley. But there were times when I struggled with what to do, such as deciding whether or not I should continue with my education or get a job right then and there after I graduated. Back then, I also struggled with being homeless for 3 months, and we had trouble finding a place to live. My mother, who had managed to raise 3 children on her own, and helped all of us through high school, encouraged me to attend college. As I thought about it, I also thought about all the times she had helped me when I was younger. I remember when she had consoled me after a bad day of school, one that involved bullying. She had told me that I should ignore the children who were harassing me, and that I shouldn't be afraid to stick up for myself and others in a similar situation. Even when I felt worthless at the time, she told my younger self that I could do anything if I set my mind to it. On that day, I learned that parents play an important role in their children's lives. Parents are the ones that children turn to after a hard day. Parents are the first people children talk to when they have something troubling them. As children become older and become parents themselves, they look back at the actions that their role models have been teaching them their entire lives. Parents in this day and age understand that when they're involved in their child's life, they can have one of the biggest impacts. Parent engagement is important. Why? Even when your children go through their teenage and rebellion years, never stop offering to lend them a hand or an ear to their troubles. Take an active role in their lives. If you have the time, attend a school event that they're a part of, or join the PTO. Check to see how you can lend a hand in their school life in one way or another. Because at the end of the day, we understand how important the role of being a parent is. And subsequently, how a parent engagement in school helps everyone. I'm currently in my third year of college and attending CCSU, at the moment with journalism as my major. It is parent, teacher, and community engagement that brought me this far. And that will bring your children to pursue their potential as well. I thank you all again for coming today.
And I just want to thank Joshua, but I want to thank Jane for having him and for sticking with him through the hard times. And absolutely, Ken Ashford, I want to thank you for being a mentor, because our children need guidance, not just from the parents, but from responsible adults in the community. And sometimes you can talk to another person's child and put them in the right direction when that parent cannot talk to that child. I know I went through that raising a teenage son, and it is very difficult, but Joshua's life could have gone very differently, and it is just such a blessing to see him succeed along with his other brothers. And it's very difficult for girls, but it is even more difficult for boys. So we thank you for all you've done, and thank you all for engaging with this young man and making sure that his life is safe and prosperous. And he in turn will do the same for others, I know, because he looks like he has the commitment to do that and sees the need. So it is very important, parents, that you pay attention to what's going on. It is critical. He talked about you lending an ear even when your children are going through their rebellious years. Remember, just think back to your rebellious years, and you know you're probably a lot better off with your children than your parents were with you. I know I was better off. My children didn't give me the hard time that I gave my parents. But you know what? What's really a blessing? So far, we've had 3 people going to Central Connecticut State University. Okay, Lauren, Joshua, and that's where I started out. And I can remember, and my brother still works there in the counseling center. William Fothergill, if you all ever need counseling or need to talk to someone, William is the one, okay? So we just have to thank God for providing us with this opportunity and with the examples, the living examples that we see. Imagine being homeless, but still encouraging your children. So you think your situation is bad, it can certainly be worse. So we are blessed to have anything that we have at this point in life. All right, now I'd like to call up, hold on one second, Richard Afowa. And Richard, I hope I didn't destroy your name. Okay, all right. Thank you for coming up. And Richard is going to talk, he's the HPU facilitator, and he's going to speak on race and understanding. And I think that's a critical issue that we all need to pay attention to, because if you think race doesn't affect your child and you, believe me, it does. So thank you, Richard.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, HPU leaders, especially Millie and the board of directors and everyone, our special guests, we have them today. You are all welcome to this graduation. My name is Richard Opoku Afewa. As she said, she's not wrong, she's right. No matter how she called it, we need to understand. I still understood my name. Thank you. I'm very happy to be with you this morning, and very happy when my sister was saying something about graduation. How do you feel? You feel so great that I can see different faces, different colors, different smiles. I'm glad you are here. Just give yourself a very big hand of applause. I'll not take much of your time. I'm just take a little bit of your time and talk about race, how it can affect, and how we should get a better understanding. It's happening everywhere, but how do we define it? As we all know, I came across different mindset, perception, definition of racism. And I came to a conclusion as a lack of better understanding as I started my journey of life. We all think it's all about black and white. But even if we think it's all about black and white, then we have a big question. They are all very important that we must know. I came across millions of pictures, especially wedding pictures. But you can even guess it right now. There is no way you can see a white wedding and the males without a black suit. I came across something that there is no way we can write a whiteboard with a white ink. It's not working. Can you see? We can't see nothing. That shows something that we must know. Let me first of all say something about understanding that we can get it better and better. The word understanding, I can take it as just two words for me that we just put it in one word. But I just want us to share something this morning. But before we can get understanding, let's take the word under. The word under means you need to calm down. The word under means it requires submissive. But mostly what I could see is we are not understanding, but we are rather standing under. That we goes up before we go down. And that is what is causing these races, as we all know. There is no way. Let's go back to the teachers that teaching these little girls in the kindergarten. You could see the teachers would be sitting down with these children. What are they doing? They can't stand up with these little babies. You need to go down. And for you to understand someone in a better way, you need to calm down. Coming down, I'm not saying just go down as we an adult right now, just sit on the floor. But put yourself in their shoes. Be where they are. Find, look around. Research. Then you can understand it better. It's different perspective when you look at this laptop. And it's different perspective when I'm standing here. You can't see any keyboard, right? But I can see keyboard here. Sometimes we need to move around. Sometimes we need to get under. Let us get this understanding and make it better way. We must go down as we being a parent. We need to understand our children. We need to understand each other, no matter where we are coming from, no matter the color, no matter the race. We still need to understand each other. We can advocate for our children without better understanding. We can't go en masse without better understanding. I would just look at myself and stand out because I can't see anyone from my side. But we all need to team up as a parent. We need to team up as one family. And I think we can advocate for our children. And I think we can bring the best out of our children. We need to learn from each other. We can't be on top and claim to understand. You can understand me without knowing my values. You can understand me without knowing my culture. You can only understand me, or I can only understand you by respecting your values, your culture, and you respecting mine. by respecting who you are and understand that even I'm the blackboard, I still need the white chalk. Now I can see we don't have the blackboard anymore. Now we have the whiteboard, and they still need the black chalk, marker. That tells you we need each other. That tells you we can't do it alone. That tells you we must understand each other. That tells you without the teachers, without the parent, the teachers has no job to do. Because a teacher cannot walk into the class and see empty chairs. What are you going to do? You need the parents to bring this case to the school for you to acquire a lot of experience in your teaching field. My message for you this morning, we need each other. We need to respect each other. We need to have better understanding. We should get close to each other. Ask more questions, and you can understand why some kids behave the way they behave. Get close to the family, get close to the parents. Ask more questions, and they can tell you, and you can learn from each other. Thank you for coming today.
Oh my goodness. Richard, thank you so much. He just went deep on us, okay? And it made me think about the one thing we have in common is we are parents. And parents come from the same perspective. We want our children to survive. We want our children to have a stress-free environment. We want our children to grow up and be well-educated and grow up and graduate and have an opportunity for employment in a society that's sometimes very unfriendly to our children. And I'm a civil rights attorney, and what I do is advocate on behalf of people. And the thing I want you to leave here knowing about race and discrimination, and it can be gender, it can be based on your physical disability, it can be based on race, it can be based on your national origin, where you grew up, where you came from, your ancestry, where your parents were born. There are many forms of discrimination, but the one thing I want you to remember, it's two words. When you notice, when you look at what's happening in school with your children, are they the victim of different treatment? If your child is being treated differently based on any one of those things that I mentioned before, you have a real responsibility to address the teacher, the psychologist, the principal, the board of education, the superintendent of schools, until you get that issue of different treatment addressed and resolved. So, I think that there was a sticker program that Millie was talking about earlier. And the children were being treated differently. Why? Because they labeled them. So if your child is being labeled, it's critical that you recognize that and that you calmly approach. I don't say go off and go crazy on people. I say, first of all, calmly approach the first person who's responsible that you think it is. Bring the issue to them responsibly. You might want to bring another parent with you, or bring Millie with you, or bring someone else with you if you think it's a serious matter that you want documented. But make sure you understand that your job, if your child is being treated differently, is to act on it right away. There are people in mental institutions that were treated differently. It is the worst situation you can ever come up with, to be treated differently based on something you can't change, your race, or your gender, or your sexual orientation. So when you are treated differently, or your child is treated differently, or you as a parent are treated differently because of your race, gender, nationality, background, then it's your job to make sure that you come to the Hartford Parent University, but first try and address it yourself. But if you find out that you're not getting the support that you need, don't go alone, okay? And I thank you very much, Richard. Oh boy, you went deep on us, but thank you very much. Okay, now, our journey over the past 6 years, Parent leaders will speak on their accomplishments over the years since graduating from Hartford Parent University. And the first person we're going to call up is Lois Barber, Hartford Parent University facilitator, class of 2012.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Lois Barber, and I am an HBU facilitator, class of 2012. It seems like a century ago. I just want to share with everyone some of my accomplishments. I was volunteer at Milner School where my 2 grandkids went, and I met Millie. She was there advocating, of course, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I've been with HBU since 2012. I left Hartford, came back last November, but I still kept in touch with Millie. I'm back and I'm still HBU proud. That's all I have to say right now. Congratulations, and all you graduates, stay HBU proud.
Okay, Lois, so since you didn't mention that your grandson is an honor student, Millie did mention it, and you are directly responsible for your children's success in education. And everyone in here, trust me, can graduate a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. We need to plan high enough for our children, because every one of you knows our children are brilliant. If they weren't, they could not figure us out and manipulate us like they do. So understand you're dealing with brilliant creatures in your home, and it's your responsibility to channel that and get them to where you see that they should go. So thank you very much, Lois. Okay. All right, the next Hartford parent leader is Zulma Costa from the class of 2015. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Zulma. I'm kind of nervous a little bit. I would like to take this time to let you know a little bit about me. I am Zulma Costas. I'm here from Hartford, Connecticut. I have 3 amazing kids in the school system. My prayer to attend Sands Elementary where my journey started. I got involved in my kids' education by volunteering, attending school meetings, and running the PTO. I attended Hartford Parent University, which I met Millie, and I graduated from parent leader in 2015. I also volunteer in the library and homework club and whatever they need my help. Now I help the village and after school program that my kids attend. I went to school for pharmacy tech. I just got my adult permit. I'm going for my driver's license. And thank you for everything, for hearing me out. It takes time and hard work to get where you gotta go, you know? And thank you, have a good day. Congratulations, everybody, and keep on going. Positive, positive, positive.
Thank you so much, Zulma. Appreciate your comments. Okay, now the next person we're gonna have is LaShawn Robinson, HPU parent leader, facilitator, and coach, class of 2013. All right.
Hello, everybody. I would like to say congratulations. For me, this has been a long journey, but like a terrific journey. I'm happy to see all of you all here. I'm happy to see some of my parents that kept going, like Loretta, Miss Natalie and stuff, you know, kept going, didn't stop, Miss Lucy. For me, you know, it's very important. I don't know, I kind of like majestically like fell into this education thing for kids. I didn't have an education. I fought so hard and so long for children to have education, and I'll probably go on and die and things won't just be how it's supposed to be, but I left a footprint, you know? So, you know, it's important for us to always advocate for our children, always support, always see what's going on in the school system. It's very important. I actually had the opportunity this week for my kids to see me graduate and get a diploma for the first time in my life. But, you know, it was a long time coming, and if it wasn't really for Millie pushing me and getting on my last nerves, I probably would have never did it. I've accomplished so many goals in 2017 that I have never seen myself accomplishing. And I'm going to college this summer. I'm taking up arts therapy. And, you know, I'm going to have that opportunity for my kids to see the process and come with me and do the application and, you know, things like that. So, you know, always believe and always follow your dreams. Don't let nothing stop you, because if I could do it with 5 kids, I know anybody could do it. So do what you gotta do, push them babies, get them to college, and, you know, let them smell success. Let them see what it looks like, you know? So that's my thing. So congratulations to you all. I'm so happy, and I hope you go further.
Thank you, LaShawn. And now we're going to go to Bianca Pinkney, Hartford Parent University Parent Leader, Facilitator, and Coach, Class of 2014. Good morning. Congratulations to you all. I was asked to speak about the journey, and so I have 2 children that are in Montessori Magnet School, and they're doing quite well. And I can remember coming through the program as a facilitator and talking amongst my peers about the challenges of their school and the lack that they had. And through this journey of changing mindset and No Child Left Behind, it's been an extraordinary experience for me, for my children, for you all. I look out into the audience and see people that we have touched, and hopefully you all also will experience a very similar and hopefully beyond an experience that's just amazing. Thank you to Millie and her board for the vision of Hartford Parent University, because truly it is a vision. I look around today and see the operation of a new superintendent who we all felt very close to, and felt that she had a vision for parents, and seeing that success and looking out into the meetings and seeing HPU members at every aspect in this process is amazing. I'd like to encourage you that it is a journey. Sometimes you're going to cry, sometimes you're going to get frustrated, but continue to reach out to me, to others. We're here as a family. Every time we go somewhere, if we all wore our HPU t-shirts, we would see the impact that this organization has had on our lives, and especially our children. I encourage you again, and best wishes to you all. Thank you. Okay, and now we have Ronald Martin, Hartford Parent University Parent Leader, Facilitator, and Fathers Group and Effective Teaching and Learning Chair, Class of 2016.
So, I raised all my kids. My oldest is 30. Went through college, school, got master's degree, got a son, joined the Air Force. And I came to Hartford and I thought it was over. And then I met Millie. I found out that the journey has just begun. Millie said, Ron, we gotta find the fathers. And myself and Father Richard got together and we sat down, we planned, we wrote a bunch of stuff on paper, and we found that it was not as easy as we thought it was. And to quote a song that I used to sing when I worked with kids. We have become fishers of men, but these men are hard to find. I found myself in fatherhood support groups. I found myself on the street with these ladies. I gotta take my hat off to these ladies because they know how to fish for men, right? We went on the street corners and we spoke to parents. I joined 3 different fatherhood groups. I worked with Klingberg in New Britain, just going, sitting with men. It's not always about getting people into groups like this and putting on the shirt, but it's the message, the vision that we got from Millie, sitting through those courses for an entire year. A lot of it was kind of like above my head, but when I got out there, it finally sunk in. I tried to go into Rawson School. I tried to go into Martin Luther King School. I volunteered to just work in a classroom to see what it's really like to be in there with these kids. And I'm telling you, I'm convinced that the role of us as parents is the critical role that's going to save our kids. And we continue to work with fathers. We continue to go where they are. They don't always come, but we try to infuse in them the vision that we got and to stir up the passion to be engaged in their children's education. So the mission continues, and we'll see where it takes us. I am just so amazed as I come to these graduations. This is my 3rd graduation, and I see wave after wave of people coming. And Millie said to me the other day on the phone, she said, Ron, it's better than it was. We probably didn't get the 100 fathers that we wanted, but the number is growing. And we're going to keep working to get fathers more engaged and more involved in their children's education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin. And everyone knows that it is difficult at best raising girls, but girls need their fathers and boys need their fathers too. So we cannot leave the fathers out, because ultimately, if we want our children to succeed, we have to bring their fathers in. Their fathers love and care about them, and have them share in attending some of the meetings at the school, and have them come in. If they don't want to come into Hartford Parent University, at least introduce them to what's going on and make sure that you provide the training that you've learned to them, because we must involve our parents, both parents, in the upbringing of our children. And if you don't have a father that can do that, I know I had to find a mentor for my son, because at one point he stopped listening to me, and I had to almost pay somebody who was a male to tell him the same thing I would tell him so that he would listen to them. But the bottom line is we want our children to succeed, so we must be inclusive in how we involve our both parents in the educational process. All right, and the next person we have now is Abigail Coronin, Hartford Parent University Parent Leader, Class of 2017. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I really didn't think Millie was going to put me up here. So I made the big surprise to myself of not writing anything down, but that's all right. Ultimately, like you all, we're here on a mission to get quality education for our children and to make sure that the future is beautiful, not only for our children, but this is a mission that's going to continue on beyond our children's graduations and take care of the children that are behind them, because education is never going to go away as long as there's children around. And we have many. We got 2 new ones right here. So we know the future still continues. So for those of us that are on this path, we know it's not going to stop anytime soon. And We can stick together. We got this. And there is power, there is definitely power in many. And the more that we can gather and the more that we can stick together and we can learn from one another and gain some understanding of each other and embrace our differences. Hartford is unique. I've lived in many places. I came from Minnesota, lived in different places of Connecticut, even been to upstate New York for a short period of time. So I can honestly say Hartford is very unique. Embrace Hartford, embrace our differences, and take those to the ultimate level because we have amazing potential, and today is the day to start leveraging that potential within yourself, within your children, and within each other. So we need to come together, one collective voice.
Thank you, Abigail. And that is so true. Once we embrace who we are and we learn to love each other because we know we're all in the same struggle and we're on the same side, then we can run the city, we can run the school system, we can run our own households. It starts with running everything that we have at our fingertips and making sure that our hand is in it. That's what engagement is. So when Millie talks about parent engagement, if you're a parent, you're engaged with your family, you're engaged with your school, you're engaged with your political structure. And yes, I am a politician, but I'm also a Hartford Parent University board member. And just like all of the board members, we are always at your fingertips. All it takes is a phone call, and we are there, and we are down with the program, okay? And now I'd like to call Carmen Sierra. She's going to announce the Perseverance and Inspire Leader awardees. And Carmen is also a board member, one of the founding board members.
All right, this is a very exciting moment. Congratulations to all the graduates. It is so proud to be here with all of you. Every year it continued to grow. And we see the accomplishment, not only you as a parent, but your children, especially look at Josh. That's a beautiful story, Josh. Congratulations. So with that, it's important to recognize individuals who go beyond what's expected from each one of them. And this one is what we call the Perseverance Award. And in order to get this award, a person who continues to move forward despite obstacles and how hard it is or how long it takes to reach a goal. This parent, despite the barriers she faced to attend Hartford Parent University learning session, during the year, she made it to 4 HPU learning sessions. She walked to some of the learning session on her own, despite the cold, the rain, the storm, you name it, and it was far. She always came prepared to learn and much enthusiasm and with a beautiful smile. She continued to move forward despite her challenges, and she did it with grace. It is a pleasure and an honor to present the Perseverance Award to Imelda Diaz. Let's stand up. This is very important for her. Let's go. Yes. Felicidades, amor. Una palabrita.
Le doy gracias, bueno, primeramente a Dios, ¿verdad? Y en segundo lugar, aquí a Mili, porque, bueno, hay 2 Milis, ¿verdad? Y por los esfuerzos de ellos, pues estamos aquí recibiendo esta educación de padres, ¿verdad? Y felicidades a todos y gracias.
Felicidades. Te queremos mucho. Next time we'll give you $1,000. We all have to dream, right? The next award, it's what we call the HPU Inspiring Leader Award. In order to get this award, you must have the ability to inspire people to reach great heights of performance and success. A person who has passion, purpose, sensitivity to the needs of people. A person who energizes others in creating a sense of direction. When there was no one to take the lead, this person stepped up and inspired others to do the same. While she was the PTO leader and going to college, she managed to mobilize an entire community to keep her child's school open. That's power. She then served on the superintendent search committee for over 4 months to ensure the best qualified superintendent candidate who was chosen for our community, our children. As you all know, this was not an easy task. While all of this was going on, this parent continued to attend HPU learning session with no pay and has taken 21 classes. The Inspiring Leader Award goes to Natalie Langelis. Did I say that right? What a beautiful name. Natalie, where are you? Please stand up. Let's give her more love. Come on, let's give her more love. You inspire me.
I am very honored for this privilege, and you know what is amazing throughout all that I have accomplished was that I kept referring to myself as just a parent. And what I would say to you, if just a parent could do this, could imagine what Hartford, what we together can achieve. You know, Millie, this program is awesome. It really does inspire you and give you confidence when you're out there speaking, because you're speaking on behalf of so many others. And even though sometimes, you know, I was at these tables and at these forums and the mayor was there and the chairman of the board was there, and I'm telling you, just a parent, sometimes my knees were knocking. But, and you know, Hartford Parent University inspires you to use your voice. So I am speaking with all this confidence, and then when I go, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was talking to the mayor like that. But you know, but it's a fight, and we have to stand up for our children's right. And you know, there's no mountain too high or no valley too low. You just gotta keep going. And I am very proud to be a part of this organization. Thanks to Millie, thanks to the board of directors and all my co-parents. I'm looking forward to seeing you at different rallies. We're gonna make sure that we get what's right for our children. And this is how I go. I just go passionate like that. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good job. Thank you again.
Thank you, Carmen. And Carmen is the one, she is the inspiration behind all of us. Like I said, her favorite term is, Millie, get to work. She will inspire you if no one else will. All right, now I'd like to call Martha Bentham to speak on behalf of Hartford Public Schools. Is Martha here? Yes. All right. And anyone who has been in the Hartford Public Schools knows Martha Bentham and knows the power that she has with using her voice. So we appreciate her support throughout the years as well.
Hello. I'm going to speak both in English and in Spanish, okay? I have a lump in my throat. And the reason why I have a lump in my throat is because I have seen people pass here that I have known for a long, long time and have seen them gone from this place when they were little. Joshua, you were one of them. Parents when they were struggling in kindergarten. Kids, Bianchi, you know, all of you. I have a such, Miss Barber has such a long, long history that I have been in Hartford Public Schools for 17 years, and no, 19 years, and I was asked to speak today on behalf of the superintendent. And I've been thinking about this all weekend because it is an honor to speak on behalf of Dr. Leslie Torres Rodriguez, especially to you, because this is a group of parents who's graduating from the most important college, university that you will ever attend. What you learned during this process cannot be bought. What you learned during this process cannot be sold. What you learned during this process you will not get at Central, at Manchester, at UConn, nowhere. Because for years, in approximately 20 years, they have been looking for what is it that parents need to learn. And it is parenting classes and triple P and all, PLTI, and we have tried many different things. None of it works the way that HPU works because we're not teaching you how to be parents. You are that the day that you became pregnant with your child. You are a parent, the day that child was born. It is how to work with the tools that you have to ensure that your children's rights, okay, and your human rights are validated. And that cannot be purchased. That has to be asked for and taken when not given to you. And that's what HPU does. The organization meets you where you're at. It doesn't matter if your child is going into kindergarten, if your child is in pre-K, if you're a grandparent, if you have 3 heads, if you look like Freddy Krueger, it doesn't matter. Okay? It takes you from where you are to where you want to go and where you need to go in order to ensure the education of your children. And that's the most important thing, okay? Don't ever forget this day. And when Millie and the organizers say, we have to go to the Capitol, it's not the day that you have to do the laundry, it's the day to go to the Capitol. When she says, it's time to go to City Hall, it's time to go to City Hall. Because I have seen it. I have seen the power, I have felt the power. I know the power that you have, each of you, and as a group even more. Do not let go of that power. Okay? And talk amongst each other, support each other. And then forever time, be very grateful to Hartford Parent University for giving you something that nobody can take away from you. If you're homeless, you're still educated. If you are divorced, you're still educated. If you are not feeling well, you're still educated. Nobody can take that away from you, okay? So, en español, señores y señoras, estoy aquí para representar a la superintendente de escuela, la doctora Leslie Torres Rodríguez. Pero mientras que estaba aquí sentada y durante el fin de semana, he estado pensando en lo que significa esta organización para mí. Cuando veo a Milagros Vega, ¿ok? Cuando veo a padres, ay, tan linda, Jane Russell, cuando veo a padres con quien yo he estado trabajando por ya 18, 19 años y que pensaban que no iban a lograr mucho, pero tenían el fuego dentro de ellas de decir, hay algo mejor para mi hijo. Ustedes tienen el poder y se les ha dado el conocimiento. Ahora tienen que usar las dos cosas. De lo que ustedes están graduando aquí, no lo van a obtener, no lo pueden comprar, por eso no les costó nada. No se los pueden vender, por eso no lo están vendiendo en el mall. No se lo van a dar en las universidades, no se los van a dar en las escuelas superiores. Se los han dado ahora y es el poder y el conocimiento de los derechos de sus hijos. Y el derecho más grande, ¿se acuerdan la telenovela El derecho de nacer? El derecho de nacer es la educación. Y lo que ustedes aprendan hoy, lo que aprendieron y de lo que se están graduando, nunca se lo pueden quitar. Aunque se vayan a nuestros países, aunque se devuelvan a El Salvador, a México, a Colombia, o que se muden para Texas o donde se muden, siempre van a tener este conocimiento. Es lo más valioso que van a tener, además de sus hijos. Úsenlo y cuando les digan, tenemos que ir a la alcaldía, vamos a la alcaldía. Cuando les digan, tenemos que ir a la gobernación, vamos. ¿Por qué? Porque es juntas y juntos que van a lograr los cambios necesarios para que sus hijos tengan la mejor educación. Y ese es su derecho. Es nuestra responsabilidad enseñarle a sus hijos. Es su responsabilidad criar a sus hijos. La nuestra es enseñarles para que en el día de mañana, como él, vaya a su universidad y esté preparado para darse una vida mejor. Y todas y todos ustedes tienen esa responsabilidad. Nunca olviden la institución que les dio eso. ¿Ok? Never, never, never underestimate the power of a group of people. It's the only power that can make and affect changes. On behalf of the superintendent, I expect to see you all at the PTOs and as the heads of the SGCs and on all of the committees that Hartford Public Schools has, because you are the leaders. Don't expect to be led. Now you lead. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Demand that we do our job. Go to a school and say with the most respectful, wonderful way, I'm sorry, I want to see the principal. And if they tell you, you need to make an appointment, okay, I'll sit here and make an appointment. They give you an appointment that it should be within 24 hours. The policy says, if you ask to see a principal, if it is an emergency, it's then. But if it's something that can wait, it has to be within 24 hours. And if you don't get that, call my office, 860-695-8400, okay? Talk to you later, guys. Congratulations.
Martha, thank you so much, and thank you so much for always being there for the parents, even when they don't even realize that you are there working on their behalf. So I think that we have to all recognize that what Martha said is true. You should not be following somebody who has not been trained. You are graduating because you know what you're doing. So you really have a responsibility to lead. And don't worry if you're the only person there leading. Someone will follow, and if no one follows, trust me, people who are elected to office will follow your lead. And never, ever, ever sell out the parents or your children by going along with a program that is not in the best interest of everyone's child. Just remember that. We didn't raise parents to turn around and go and sell out to the principal's goals and objectives, because sometimes their goals and objectives are not the same as yours as a parent. So be aware of what your goals are and stick to them. I don't care if you're the only one speaking up about it. And if you need help, of course, call Millie Arsenegas, because that's the person we're calling on right now to speak. All right, so Millie, come on up.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I know it's you get a little antsy, and I know the kids are tired too. But this is well worth it. You guys should be patting yourselves in the back. I wanna just shout out to Pat Fahey over there. She's our grant writer, and she's always there for us. She's amazing. She's just an amazing person. The message that I have for you, it'll be quick. Okay. The message I have for you guys today is when we started in 2012, I had no idea that this would be this big. We had no idea, right, Ms. Barber? and the board just kept pushing us. And so I had doubts in the beginning. I was like, can this really happen? Is it what everybody's saying out there true, that parents are not involved? And we didn't let that stand in the way, right? We just kept moving. So, you know, that's the message. We got to keep moving, because when I started, I was trying to engage parents, right? So that was the first couple of years. Then we started empowering parents, right? So you can see on your brochure, there's 3 words. So this class, because we just graduated the facilitators in the summer, well, they're going through the graduation today, but they went through the course in the summer. They were the mobilizers, okay? So what do you think we're gonna do this year and years to come? Mobilize, all right? So that's the message I have for you today. Anything that you do within your child's school, mobilize. Not by yourself, get others to mobilize with you. Get them involved in Hartford Parent University. We'll take care of the rest, all right? So I congratulate each and every one of you. I'm about to start the party and the commencement, right? And the graduates will walk on stage. They're gonna enter to that way, out this way, and then they're going to line up at the end of this, okay? The end of the stage. Everybody with me? But you gotta wait till I start the music. All right, so congratulations to the class of 2017. Okay, we'll do it like that. We'll do it like that. Imelda Barajas. Round of applause, please. Arlene Clark. Maria Cruz. Marlene Rodriguez. Cabral Brakely. And Mary Monel. Abigail Corrigan. Kareen Day. Tanika Menifee. Loretta Parker. Jane Martin. Jorge Pineda. Richard Afawa. Ronald Martin. Robert Smith. Myrna Colazo. Cornell Henry. Lucy Smith. Carmen Cruz. Marie Rayner. Serena Rodney. Perla Velasquez. Natalie Langalese. Got it, I got it. Dahaira Velasquez. Karen Delgado. Imelda Diaz. Gloria Gonzalez. Hector Goretz. Keisha Weaver. Lourdes Cawana. Delida A. Castro. Heather Buccino Cibrian. And LaTroya Blue. Miss anybody? Future leader.
At Hartford Public Schools, we care about one thing above all, the future of our kids. That's why we're dedicated to providing all students with the knowledge and skills needed in the new global culture. Hartford Public Schools is thriving. More student success stories, more world-class facilities, more university and corporate partnerships, more amazing talent coming and staying in Hartford. This is how education is supposed to work. Welcome to Hartford Public Schools, where the future is present.
1, 2,